Guess what? You're getting baited, that's what. I'm not doing the quest for completion series just yet, but I have a very particular route in mind that I have just edited and or perfected, question mark, and now I want to test it out. It's you start out on EV and put all your points, literally like all of your points, until you get into Tinker's Lab, into what was it? Into damage, tower damage. You only care about tower damage. That's a lot of chair noises. I hope that's not too loud. You get any items that don't have tower damage as a stat, as long as they aren't this one, this one, this one, or this one, they're fine. I would say what those are, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But if it has those 4 stats, any of those 4, you can consider it the same as it having no stats, because it's not worth anything to you. Damage can be kind of useful, speed can be kind of useful, right? Rate can be useful, and the other 3 stats obviously are pretty useful. Plan is to do Deeper Well on Insane Hardcore after this. So start out Deeper Well, Hardcore, then Insane Hardcore, then move on to what was it? Deeper Well? No. Deeper Dread Dungeon. There we go. Dread Dungeon. Do that medium hardcore. Try to finish the whole map. I think that should work. And then by the end of that, you should get a good enough weapon plus a good enough amount of mana to upgrade that weapon, plus armors to be able to do Dread Dungeon's first wave and second wave on Insane, and then go into Tinker's, and then do Tinker's Nightmare Hardcore first wave, and then boom. That is summarized what I'm planning to do in this video. I have builds. I have amazing, crazy builds. Not really crazy, but I have builds I would consider to be very good. As in, like, they have significantly made things easier now that I have started using them. And it is all builds that I did, alright? Like, the original builds you just kind of place wherever, whatever, wherever. But the things I'm doing, I did that. Don't say I copied anyone. Although, to be fair, nobody has ever said I copied somebody for a build. I'm really just excited, honestly, because the things that I discovered while testing out random random builds for Quest for Completion's first episode are really, really cool. Yes, words. Yeah. Deeper Well, hardcore. The odds that you get any kind of a useful item, pretty damn low. If you get an item with tower damage, great, really, really good. I should mention it's probably possible to do Deeper Well Insane Hardcore with just 1 tower damage if you're on an EV, but I'm not fully confident on that, so I'm not going to go into it yet. Anyways, this I don't even want to call this a build, but this build is just whatever I came up with from testing out Q goes at Deeper Well. This is very loud. I will turn the volume down. I saw a guide on Steam just now. Oh, no. Do not mess with my visuals. No full screen. Do this. There we go. Sorry about that. I saw a guide on Steam just now. And it was like how to play Dungeon Defenders, like meta playset. Well, what was it? You guys can't see it. I'm in the Steam menu. That's why you can see my mouse a little bit. How experienced players play. Meta guide. My ass. That is not how experienced players play. At least for the beginning part of it. I haven't read the full thing. I probably should before I say anything. But it starts out with telling you to go grind Glitterhelm caverns on Insane Hardcore to get to level 74. Unless you want to, like, you know, spend the next 10 years of your life grinding for level 74 on Glitterhelm, I wouldn't do it. Don't get me wrong, if it's your first time through Dungeon Defenders, it's great, it's a lot of fun, but if you're just trying to level fast and you don't care, Glitterhelm is not the place to be. I felt like I was having a stroke in the middle of that sentence. Yes, so originally, the route that I had planned, by the way, if you don't know, this is Quest for Completion Extras. I think I'm going to upload this video publicly if everything goes well. which I normally wouldn't do, but this video will be in a playlist along with any other future Quest for Completion Extras episodes. Quest for Completion Extras is basically, I have a Quest for Completion series that I'll be starting soon, and it'll be for live Dungeon Defenders where I try to do everything in the game solo. And the extra series is basically just me testing out builds, and if something works or is useful, then I put it in the extra series as an unlisted video, so that you can check it out and see what's going to be in the next one, the next upload, I guess. This one, if all things go well, this will not be privated, or not privated, this will not be unlisted. It will just be public, because I mean, content, to be honest, get something out there for a little bit. And also because that guide, specifically because of that guide, actually. Like, I wasn't going to say anything, but I saw that guide and I'm like, maybe I do make it public. Because maybe I title, like, the episode, like, Q4C Extras, how to get level 74 fast. I should not have equipped that. Right, I already mentioned this, but what you are looking for in items is entirely just power stats and kind of it, to be honest. Power stats and a little bit of hero stats. The most important hero stats, probably cast rate, to be honest. Speed is great, but I think cast rate's more important. And okay, that is the build for Deeper Well on hard finished. This build is identical to the one you will use in Deeper Well on Insane. Not much of a difference. There are a few routes that I've seen. Not a few. There are 2 routes that I know of to get to Tinker's Lab and then, get to 74 very quickly for Dungeon Defenders. This one you guys are about to see is one of the routes. Thank you for the card outside for being extremely loud. This is one of the routes that I made up. And the other route that I know of is the one from Chiku, and probably the one that most everybody uses in Dungeon Defenders, at least. Which is just doing the first 4 missions on hardcore. I don't know how you would do the one with the alchemical laboratories. I don't know how you would do that one, to be honest. Actually, I have an idea of how you would do it. I take it back. But it'd be really annoying. So instead of trying to learn and go through that, I thought I would just stick to this, and I think this is faster than than the other method, and it's nice. That it's mainly because the other methods, as in having to go through alchemical laboratory, magus quarters, foundries and forges, all of them, they require you to go on maps that are extremely slow. Like alchemical labs, not that slow, right? It's basically just like a bigger version of Deeper Well. Very, very key choke points, right? And on top of that, like, it's a very small map, I'd say. Foundries and Forges is fucking gigantic. That thing is huge. You go into Foundries and Forges, you'll be there, you'll come out like 80 years older, and you'll be like, oh, finally, I completed it on easy hardcore. Not so much the case with this map. With Deeper Well or Alchemical Laboratory. But like, Foundries and Forges will take forever. And then on top of that, we really got like no good loot. On top of that, the other map that'll take you forever to finish is gonna be Magus Quarters. I don't know if that's what it's called. But like the 3rd map in the rotation that I can't see yet. That one will also take forever to finish. It will literally take forever. That's a lie. It won't literally take forever, but it will take a long time to finish. Similar problems, just very large map. Not as big as Foundries and Forges, mind you, but it's a very large map, and the rewards from the map, not the rewards, the times for enemy spawns, it's like in big waves, but the waves, they take so long. You'll have a big chunk of enemies spawn, and then you'll have like a minute before the next chunk of enemies spawns. And then you'll have like, maybe 3-4 of those per wave. Even more in later waves, but you don't really do that unless you're going survival, of course. And then you do that like, for 5 waves in a row. So that takes forever. And the same is true for foundries and forges. Again, alchemical labs get an excuse because it doesn't take as long. This is a much smaller map, but also because the spawn chunks are closer together. But still, overall, it ends up taking a while. I think it's about an hour, maybe 2 hours. Yeah, I think about 2 hours to go with the method, of hardcore campaign. I didn't fully finish it. You do hardcore campaign, first 4 missions, then you do Raining Goblins, Nightmare hardcore, I think. Just do the first few waves of it for XP and items, and then you go into Tinkers, I think. If I remember correctly, that's what it was. But again, I find it to be very slow, and I think the boss there is really, it's kind of gimmicky to do it on live. On Redux, the EV beams are a lot stronger, but on live, the EV beams are a lot weaker than they are on Redux. So like killing the boss with just beams, I think the way that you want to do it is put a bunch of like proton beams maybe on where the boss spawns, and then I should probably be pressing G, and then just die to it immediately. Like don't let it move, just die to it instantly. And then if you do that, I'm pretty sure the boss doesn't move at all because there's no towers for it to hit. So it'll just stand there and just get killed by your EV beams, and it will never go up in the air. I think. I haven't tested it out, and I haven't watched Chiku's video fully, but I know Chiku's video, it was on Redux, so beams do a hell of a lot more damage there. But even with EV being a lot weaker on live than she is on Redux, at least early game, it is still true that the EV beams are by far the best towers for early game. Nothing will compare to this. Like level 0, you'll be doing, what is it? You'll be doing 108, I think, DPS with these beams, right? And you'll be doing 108 DPS to all the enemies passing through the beams, right? So it's not just one little group of enemies. Wow, that sucks. It'll be a whole group of them. It's not one little enemy, it'll be a whole group of enemies. Yes, very good wording. I should not have picked that up. Oh, I'm very fast now. I'm not very fast. I'm a little fast. Wow, I'm amazing. I completely forgot what I was talking about in less than like a second. Damn. Do Tinkers into... No, Tinkers... I don't know what I'll do after Tinkers, to be honest. I've spent a hell of a lot of time just like scaping out the first episode because I really feel like the first episode is going to be a big bulk of the progress. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I want to, in the first episode of the Live Quest for Completion series, to get through Tinkers, right? At least get the Tinkers and finish it at least once as a single person, and then hopefully once as 4 players to show like the differences and such. Oh, that's great. Tower damage. Had 17 upgrades? That's amazing. Since tower damage is the only thing we're putting stats into, getting an item that has tower damage, very good. Especially if it has that many upgrades in tower damage. Not enough upgrades. Sad. On another note, I was really hoping we would get a weapon from this. We don't need it. We don't need a weapon from this. I should mention that. Absolutely not necessary. Like, at all, I think. Because we're only going to go into medium hardcore Dread Dungeon. But it would be really nice because it would make it a lot easier. Because by Wave 2, by the start of Wave 2 of Dread Dungeon, we definitely need a weapon of some sort. If we don't have one, I mean, it's just a done deal. We're done, though. If we don't have a weapon by then to deal with the wyverns that'll be coming in, we can't go through the map and finish it. Wow, that's a lot of HP. I'm gonna pick that up, but I'm never gonna use it. You guys are gonna see me go through my inventory, my stash later, and then drop that because I'm like, well, this is not useful. I had to pick it up. Guarantee that's gonna happen. Not the first time that Deeper Well has not paid out in terms of item drops, to be honest. Very, very common. I was tempted to start out this series like in Quest for Completion on Redux, where I went in episode 1 and farmed like, I think it was, what the hell? What is this? Ooh, that's gross. I went in and I farmed, I think it was Pirate Invasion? Yeah, it was Pirate Invasion on Ascension Ruthless. Yes. And just got like a bunch of really good stuff from that. I will take this gun. It is better than everything else I have. But I'd rather not use bugs like that, because I feel like something like that might eventually get patched. Even though, like, one of the developers, well, the only real developer, as far as I'm aware at least, for Dungeon Defenders 1, has said that they're not gonna fix it. I think they've said that. I don't trust it, so I'm gonna refrain from using it. We are 16 minutes in. My throat is very dry. I have a vein that feels like it's gonna kill me in a moment. Let's get into Dread Dungeon in a moment. Hold on. This weapon, 39. Ooh, that's a lot of money. So, because this has a lot larger starting investment cost, it'll be even larger the next amount, and it'll cost too much for us to upgrade. So it's unironically better for us to just stick with this, even though it's like, it sucks. Wow, it really sucks. Yeah. It pierces through multiple enemies, but this is a very fresh account. It's the same one used for Redux, but just on live. But I never actually opened it. Oh wow, that's the lowest thing. Yeah. Is this level 30? Dread Dungeon Medium, let's go. Okay, so things to know about this map. The first wave on medium will get you like 30-something thousand XP, which is a lot, and it's very, very, very nice, very useful. Oh, second wave, I don't know how much, but on hard it'll get you about, I think, 70,000 XP, maybe a little bit more than that. Doing it first wave, I don't think hardcore matters. It might actually. I don't think it does though. It'll get you about 70,000 on hard, and then on insane it'll get you 200,000. Pretty big difference. Pretty big difference. I should mention as well. Originally, I intended to go through this map doing it on hard and then doing it on insane once I got there. But I think we could literally just go through it, complete the whole map on medium instead of doing that, which would be cool. Okay. Oh, I should be over there. I should be over here. I should be over here. Try and get these archers to stay in this beam a little bit longer, because they're probably not going to die. Some of them maybe. Actually, maybe all of them die. I lied. Cool. These orcs on medium have barely any more health than the archers do, and as a result, they die very, very easily. Also, whenever you can, jump down here. Don't hit me, 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 don't hit me. There we go. Plant that beam down there roughly like how I did, because if you don't, you'll have an orc stuck down there doing loopy-loops. I don't know which one of these orcs will do it, but one of these orcs is going to start doing it. And you'll have to like either get really close to him and bait out a swing to get him to move, or you'll just kind of have to shoot him like a billion times to get him to move. Either way, not fun. Okay, so this is the new tech that I discovered. Basically, ogres, for some reason, if you put these physical beam walls up high and not on the ground at all, they'll just completely ignore them. They just won't hit them at all. I don't know why, but I love it, because it means that if an ogre, any ogre, right, if they come through this path up here, we don't have to care about them. They won't kill us, right? They won't break the wall. They won't do anything, and the other enemies going through this path are just going to die naturally through proton beams anyways, so we don't have to care about them either. That's the first wave. Please, chests. The chests give garbage loot. I should mention that. Chests give garbage loot, but I will pray that they give us a nice staff to use for this upcoming wave. Is that a nice staff, or is that a bad staff? It's probably a bad staff. Lovely. Maybe this gun will be enough. Yeah, so if you put the walls up like that, ogres get distracted, they go a little stupid mode, and they don't actually break them down. Like at all. Like they genuinely just don't hit them. It's amazing. I think I'm gonna move this just something like here. Yeah. I don't think the enemies actually go up this right side of the wall. This should be 2DU, not 3DU. Nope. I shouldn't be as stingy with the DU as I am right now, but so if you're wondering why I'm placing these extra beams as I am right now, it is because since we placed down these physical barriers, the archers on the second and third and every wave after will actually start being dillweeds and just shoot the shite out of these walls. So by placing that beam set down there, it'll just kill them before they can take down the wall or block anything. Same is true for the mages as well, if I remember correctly. I do not like the placement of this. I have opened 2 chests. Great. I have found that mage weapons cost a lot less to upgrade in general, and are a lot better than ranger weapons. That is what they call them. That is what I call them. For damage. That is what I found. That's not like definitive, like this is how it is. Just from my experience, that is the truth. Alright. So we have yellow, orange, and that sucks. You have yellow ogres. That's fine. Alright, this one goes up here. With this beam, one special thing you can do up here actually. If you place down this you want that to be 4DU. If you place down or 3DU, if you place down a proton beam up here, what'll happen is that the wyverns, they will go through this path and they'll get stuck on this wall. And they're a little too high. What they'll do is they'll swoop down on the wall, and they'll get stuck in this beam here. They won't get stuck, but they'll get hit by it. And since the beams do a lot of damage, they'll actually get killed by the beam, and you won't have to worry about that. The wyverns coming from this side, not the same scenario. They're just dillweeds. They'll just keep going. We have extra DU. I shall spend the DU over here. Yes, DU well spent. You could spend the DU down here, to be honest. I probably should have. One thing I will do preemptively is upgrade the beams down here. Don't upgrade your walls, by the way. Because if an ogre comes through these bottom areas, we're kind of screwed. Not screwed. No, we'll be perfectly fine. But if an ogre goes through that bottom area there, it'll actually hit that wall. And we can't repair it fast enough. At least I don't think we can. I don't think we can repair it fast enough to heal the ogre's damage. So we'll have to upgrade it instead. Okay, now the wyverns will spawn right here. Come on. There it is. Dillweed. So we gotta shoot it down. Wow, this is so bad. Wow, we have such bad DPS. Please tell me it's hitting me. Please tell me it's hitting both wyverns at least. It was, thank God. Okay, cool. And the wyverns over here, you guys will see. As long as there's not too many of them. Zap, 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 zap. You might need to repair this physical beam if it gets to be a problem. Don't be afraid to, give these guys a little encouragement boost into the drop beams if they're being a little belligerent. If this wall here goes down, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter at all. No enemies will get through. As you can see, this idiot just stuck here. Stupid, dumb idiot ogre gets stuck at wall and does nothing. If you do go up to the wall, I think he will start trying to hit you. No confirmation on that, though. I haven't fully tested that. But we are doing it, folks. We are doing it. I'm actually going to go down here and place... don't get away from me. Don't get away from me. Don't get away from me. If you get hit, you lose a 1.3 times XP bonus that you would normally get, which sucks. I just realized this is kind of like a video for beginners, and I'm not explaining things very... I'm sorry. Wow, that is... Oh, that's going to be a really good weapon, I think. At the very least, it's a good offhand. There's an archer shooting our wall for absolutely no reason. What is wrong with you? Who hurt you? Leave. Into the beam. Cool. That, gentlemen and ladies and fine people of the day, is why we put down the extra proton beam here. Why is our DU count such a weird number? Where did the other proton beam go down? Is it the one over here? But it's the one over there. Oh, 2 DU. Right, 2 DU. So now you'll have 2 ogres coming in. If both the ogres come from this bottom path, you're not screwed, but you're going to have a hell of a hard time. Actually, you can upgrade these to level 2 if you'd like. I just remember that. You'll get a lot better loot now, by the way. I should have mentioned that before. The loot you'll get after, you know, from the mobs after wave 2 will be really good. At least it should be. This is better than what we currently have. I'm going to keep it, but I'm not going to equip it because I'm hoping that we can get a even better piece of gear. What is with that? Sucks. Okay. So we'll... It's interesting. I hope the staff ends up being pretty good. I also get a lot more mana now as a result of, you know, finishing the wave. Ooh. The beams up here. The wall up here, I would argue, is safe to upgrade. I think it's safe to upgrade. I don't think there's any problems there. Upgrade this beam here because it does a lot of damage, and then just repair all these. I think these beams up here are actually... Yeah, I think they're damaged not because they did anything major, but because they tanked a lot of enemy hits. This is better than our current armor. Actually, that's only kind of better than our current armor. Doesn't have as many upgrades. Oh, that's gonna suck. Sorry, if you can't tell, the way that I'm judging armor is if it gives us a lot of tower damage, it is big good. Like, most important stat, tower damage, then probably health and this. And then after that, cast rate, speed, maybe hero damage. Kind of not really hero damage. That's how I'm judging the gear that we're getting right now. Health would be kind of nice because I don't like that our beams are going down, like at all. Not a very good thing, I would argue. I know that this area will always be a problem area with this build. But hopefully... That's great. That'll increase our DPS by a lot. Let me show you. 1860 DPS. Drop this. We drop down to 1700. Holy hell! Jesus! Okay. 1860? 2171. That's a big jump. That's a fat jump in stats. That is useless. Okay. And these two are garbage, I'm assuming? Yes. One thing I should inform you guys of. The cost to upgrade a weapon somewhat correlates to the cost of the, or not the cost, the speed, the projectile speed of the weapon. This is going to be better. Let me show you guys. This other thing has 9 rate, and the other one has only 1 and a bunch of damage instead. 2171 damage goes to Sun. 2243. Yes. I am not spending time doing useful things. I apologize. Let us look at our item box, see if anything's useful. It isn't. Why do I have this? Why would I pick that up? Unlock all. Stop checking. Useless. Sell. And then we're gonna get a lot of mana this way in particular. Upgrade this weapon. Don't worry about the negative. Why does it cost so much? I might just upgrade this weapon instead then. That sucks. I didn't realize I shouldn't have sold that previous weapon we had. I thought that this weapon here would cost a lot less to upgrade. For context, I thought it was going to cost like... I thought we'd get it to level 10 at least. But I was wrong. I guess we'll get a better weapon next wave. Same thing as before. Hopefully we don't get an ogre down here. Hopefully we don't get 2 ogres down here if we do. Good. Also, if you see godly pieces of gear, it is a misrepresentation. They are actually garbage pieces of gear. Very useless. Please be enough damage to deal with both wyverns. Okay, it is. It's a lot more damage than I thought it'd be, actually. One of the ogres spawned in a good location. No problem so far. Also, I don't know exactly why. Move to the right. I don't know exactly why, but the ogre spawning noise happens twice. Alright. One spawn down here. That sucks. Let me walk over here and get a bit of mana. I hope me shooting that ogre didn't mess things up. So now I'm going to have to kind of go over here and make sure that this physical beam doesn't go down. Yeah, that's spitball, which doesn't even do like a lot of damage. Just did a lot of damage. Stop hitting my wall. I should have upgraded that 2D thing up there earlier. Yes, I should have. Okay. Once again, the proton beam here went down. It was doing a lot of work. Physical wall up here, also doing plenty of work. Not really, actually. This physical beam is useless once the ogre is down. I would prefer it if this wall didn't go down. Are there any mages left? No. Okay, let's just shoot these archers down. Sometimes the ogre will be really stupid and just get stuck. Be thankful if that happens, because it doesn't always. Alright, he's unstuck now. Let me show you guys what you should do. Make sure you're really outside of his range. Like, let him get a hit or two on it. Because he's not like an orange ogre or anything, he has a lot less health and he does a lot less damage. There we go. Don't upgrade the walls, right? Don't upgrade the walls, upgrade the proton beams. Okay, now let's try to get a better weapon. That is pretty good gloves. I don't think we're gonna get a better helmet. Wow! Holy hell. That's a lot of damage. That sucks. We really lucked out on our chest piece though. That's really good chest piece. Like, I can't describe how good that is. Our stats are incredibly high right now. Please be good. Might be good. Might be good. I don't know if it's going to be good. It really sucks that this thing turned out to be a really bad item. DPS. Even this thing is, like, better for DPS. Although it's going to cost too much mana to upgrade. This sucks. I apologize if your ears are getting blasted. I hope they're not. Oh, this thing didn't go down. Champion. We have any cast rate? No. I'm not going to pick that up. If you have more cast rate than me, I would suggest picking that up, but that would destroy my cast rate. Nope. You want to look for a weapon that has pretty high base damage, like in the 40s maybe? And on top of that, has pretty low projectile speed. Although again, I don't know why this one costs so much to upgrade. But it is what it is, I guess. I'm going to make sure I upgrade this beam down here twice. I should make it farthest left. This one specific beam, God's word. Mana. Wait, there we go. Thought so. I was upgrading the wrong beam there. Are you good? Wow, there's negative cast rate. Not cast rate, charge speed. Very bad. Godly is useless. If you see level requirement 60, just ignore it. I can pretty much guarantee you that it's going to be worthless. No. And then I'm assuming all of these are garbage as well? Yes. Wow, that ogre only dropped 2 pieces of gear. That was a bum-ass ogre, holy hell. I suppose we're going to be sticking with this primary weapon for a little bit. Oh well. Again, ideally you want to get some mage weapon whenever you can. But if you can't, then you can't. Even more into damage. If you're wondering why I don't put any into the elemental damage, it's because certain enemies can be immune. Not certain. Anybody but an ogre, pretty much, can be immune to elemental damage. Which kind of sucks. Because if you put all your points into elemental damage, and something that happens to be immune to elemental damage. And it sucks, doesn't it? Originally, I did not think that doing this map completely on medium hardcore would be possible. I am very, very surprised to say that it is. Be careful of those bastards, these friggin' Dark Elf warriors. On this difficulty, they don't have the health to get near you and get past you. But on higher difficulties, like on Insane, round 2, you gotta watch out for them. Those jackasses will just chase after you. Can you people down here not? Just go die. Carefully don't get shot here. Again, you don't want to lose your XP bonus. So, with the 2/3 chance that an ogre spawns in a location that's perfectly fine for you, you will be fine 2/3 of the time. The ogre spawned in a location up here or down there. This time both. So now we're good. Ogres can spawn twice in the same location. Don't be surprised if they do. What are you doing there? Why is this wire stuck? Physical beam where? No. Physical beam here. Ogres are really stupid, by the way. That's the first time I've actually seen that wall go down. Probably because it didn't have that much health. You have 4 health. That's lower than normal. Don't hit the crystal. That's gonna hit the crystal. Holy shit, he actually focused on the wall here. Yeah, the wall goes down, all of a sudden all these wyverns go through. I think actually these walls up here are definitely worth upgrading. Just to make sure that they don't get taken down. It's the first time I've seen a wyvern actually focus on this wall here, though. That's surprising. I should mention this. Of the 2 places that have like the higher up walls, that one over there is definitely by far the best, because that extra beam here means that potentially 4 proton beams are attacking the ogre at once, meaning it'll die really, really quickly. How's about you guys just follow the beams and get ourselves to them? Let's follow the beams. Nope. He's going in a circle. There we go. Your goal is to get a fair amount of stats, and then also a pretty good weapon so that you can do the first 2 waves, ideally, the first 2 waves of the insane hardcore of this map. Apologize if you do not like third person, first person, but that is how I like to look at items. I'll look at it. I'll keep that. I'll look at it. And then, okay. Are there really no useful items? There aren't. What's this thing look like? Level 60, right? Remember, folks, level 60 is garbage. Ignore it. 3 ogres now. If all 3 ogres come from this bottom route, we're not screwed, but we're in a really tough situation. Like, it'll be really, really annoying. I'm gonna upgrade these 2 to level 2 up here. Have I checked out the loot that's up here? I don't think I have. Nope. Nope. And nope. Yeah, great. Look at that. That might actually be useful. As long as that thing costs very cheap. As long as that thing's upgrade cost is very low, should be good. A little chair noise here. Apologize. I gotta move around a little bit, get a little bit more comfortable. Hopefully that doesn't hurt the mic quality, actually. Fun fact about this Dragon Breath cannon. That is really good chase piece. It does fire damage as its primary type of damage instead of the generic damage that you're used to. This looks like a level 27 item. Nope, it is godly. So-called godly items. Is that it? Okay. Now I want to check out some of those staves we got and see if any of them are any good. I think we'll probably get a good staff towards the end of this. I think we should. I don't know. The chest rewards are... Hold on. If that doesn't cost 1 billion mana to upgrade, that's good. I mean, even right now, it's pretty good, to be honest. It doesn't cost 1 billion mana. It'll cost a lot. But it's the same amount as these things. Cool. There are 1,000 routes. These actually would suck. I just realized they don't have enough upgrades. There are 1,000 routes to get yourself to a good weapon. This happened to be one of them. I will in fact put all of my points into upgrading this weapon. Which one of these is the bad one? The secondary. And then once you're done looking at items, be like, you can unlock all and then just lock the items that you want to keep. Carefully don't sell anything that you want to keep. I have done that before. It feels so bad. If you want, you can upgrade a little bit into some of your other stats. Wow, I just really deleted all the tower HP we had. Okay, I will have to be a little more active. Let's see how much more damage we do. I think this will be a lot more damage if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, holy hell, that's a lot more damage. What is that? 200 generic damage on this thing? Jeez, that is a lot of ogre noises. Oh, 2 ogres came up here. That's great. That means we don't have to care about 2 of the ogres. This wall is getting the shite beaten out of it. Okay, I want to just stop this problem at its root. Which wall went down? Oh, that bottom wall. Oh, I need that bottom wall. Hold on. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Don't die, don't die. Ah, I forgot just in time. Negative repair. There's another wall over there. Don't, that other wall, don't go down, please. The problems of having very low tower HP are really showing themselves. I apologize to you guys that you just got blasted. Please die. I need to figure out better placement so that these jackass archers can get dealt with. Deal with these guys up here. Turn around, deal with these guys over here. That's all. I think that's all the wyverns. And then that other wall down there is going to go down in a second, but whatever. Okay, yeah, that wall went down. But it is fine. That proton beam went down. Poor soldier. Truly, it did a lot of work for us. So far only 2 godly items. And the ogre down here is playing nice and being completely confused for absolutely no reason. How about you don't shoot that wall before jumping into beams? Once again, oh, I just saw an item disappear. What the hell? Ah, I realized. So there's an item cap of 40 if you're a single player on a map. So if there's 40 items on a map and a new one drops, you'll just delete one of the previous items. I don't know how it chooses what to delete. Wow, that is really weird. I don't know about that negative tower HP, as we have learned its importance just now. Is anything gonna hit the crystal? No, it's just the. What is the ogre down here doing? I thought he moved, sir. Oh, he's doing a little tango with the orc. That's fun. That's enough of that. Come on. Come on. I don't want to have to bait this guy with myself. Champ. He would one-shot us. He's... Okay, I'm gonna hope that gets him unstuck, and I'm gonna repair this wall preemptively. And I'm gonna go over here and put this wall back. You should probably kill him instead of letting him stay alive as I am. Cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered. So where was it? Around here that they got stuck before? If you guys remember... Props to you. I do not. I don't remember where the archers got stuck here. Is he back? Yep, he's back to go in the circles. Wow. No need to repair that. Well, it will be the slow burn death for this ogre. Death by 1,000 cuts, if you will. Oh, there we go. He got aggroed on us. Yeah, hit the wall. Red bozo. Back to 40 items. And we have the final wave coming up. Sadly, this map doesn't give you some like big amazing reward like a I don't know, it'd be a big amazing reward. It doesn't give you a like that sucks. Brain part. It doesn't give you like a weapon reward or armor rewards. It just gives you an accessory or two. Or no, just one. Just one accessory. Which kind of sucks, especially because the accessory is very, very likely to be garbage. But it's better than getting no. Barely. Barely better. Once again, any chest piece we find, probably not better. This piece of gear, not better. Godly? Yep, godly. Epic pieces of gear might be worth your time. It's like a bit of a 50-50 on those. That helmet is nice. Frankly speaking, this, if you are not me, please pick that up. That is a better piece of gear. But I'm greedy. I will not pick it up because I don't think it's exactly what I want. I should really, really get a piece of gear that has tower HP of any sort. I should really pick that. I might pick that one from the ground up, to be honest. Pick that one from the ground up, pick that one up from the ground. I might do that. I think I probably will do that, honestly. Because it is really good. Oh, no. I don't want to have to pick up this helmet. Tell you what, if there's a helmet that gives us rate, cast rate, and tower damage, tower HP, I will pick it up. This doesn't do that, but it does everything else I want it to. Bad leather vest. No. Being too greedy. This is very boring. I imagine this is extremely boring from a viewer point of view. But little do you viewers realize, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. Oh, that's nice. And unlike me, you don't know exactly what you're looking for, only roughly. This helmet is nice. There are like 3 nice helmets to contend with now. Oh yeah, I should probably upgrade something here. He says while not upgrading anything. I should have editing in this episode, shouldn't I? I should really do editing. Editing is really, really boring to do. But it is very useful for videos. Custom. Alright, what helmets do we have? We have this one, and this one. None of these give us rate. None of these helmets give us any rate. Okay, I guess. Honestly, this is probably the best option here. Maybe this one. What's the cost upgrade? Sorry, this is very finicky, and this is... Just move on to the next wave. I've already put all the mana into here. I have to wear it now. Okay. This means that all the other helmets here are garbage. Most of the other helmets. Alright. Now everything has a lot more health. Because it is very low on HP. Jesus. Oh no, we lost our cast rate. No. I wanted that cast rate. Shit. I really dislike not having a high cast rate. Mind you, the cast rate we had before wasn't actually very high. It's just like above average. And average is very low. There we go. Lastly, this. Oh, then just replace that wall. Okay. I think if you have that wall sticking out so much, the archers will be more prone to attack it. Not 100% sure on that, but either way, you should be able to complete this map on medium even if the 2 ogres get up to that wall that I was showing earlier, which they shouldn't as long as you're not provoking them too much, they should maybe get it down, but if they get that wall down, just lead them over to this next one, sell this wall, and then place a decoy right here. After you place that decoy, jump down through this route, go around the back, and then place another wall here. Or they might just die because it's only like, you know, medium. Anyways, we are on the next wave. Ogres spawned in one ogre spawned in a bad location, the other ogre spawned in an okay location. This guy's being a jackass. Azabashi, don't do that, sir. Look at this, negative cast rate. Sucks. And that wall is getting blasted once again. Another set of ogres from the same locations. Thank you for flying in literal circles, Wyvern. Truly, you are an asset to your kind. That wall went down. Oh, wait, the ogre went down too. Okay, that's fine. Don't get near the crystal. I saw something get near the crystal for a second there. This ogre down here really do be kind of stupid, don't he? Wait, no, he's moving. No, stop that. Look at this tiny physical wall. You get stuck on it. Oh wait, he's even dumber than I thought. There we go. There's your proof that you should have a perfectly fine time no matter what. Even if 2 ogres come down, you'll be fine. Get away from me, Dark Elf Warriors, jackasses. Hate the Dark Elf Warriors. They are miserable, real demons. Okay, now that that wall is down, one, we have to watch out for the wyverns a little more, and 2, all the things will die without issue. We'll go a lot faster. Once this last Dark Elf Warrior down here runs into the beams and kills himself, I will move on. Oh, Jesus. 2 more spawned. That's fine. How's about you guys die down there? How's about you stop doing that healing thing? All of a sudden we are getting out DPS. Update. We have not gotten a good weapon yet. And every enemy in the world is being funneled through this one choke point. Good God. You should get some really good loot on this final wave. Like, not actually really good loot, but like, you know, for the moment, good loot. Cursed chain braces. Love to see it. They are utter garbage. Goodbye. Okay, now is the boring part. If you want to skip to when I am done looting, then look at the, like, skim through the bottom of the video and see when I'm done looting. If you don't have your crystal hit, this is a very good piece of helmet. If you don't have your crystal hit on any of those waves, you'll be level 30 and you can actually equip the aperture science thing. Is this good? Is this good? Oh wait, no, it's not. I hope we can equip some of those chest pieces we saw earlier. Wow, those are very good gloves. Those are very good gloves. And there are no chests. Mainly hunting for a weapon right now. Mainly hunting for a good weapon. We have a lot of mana. Holy hell, that's a lot of mana. Please. I'm not looking directly at the weapons, I know. Oh, that is weird. This is probably a very good weapon. As long as its upgrade cost isn't in the thousands starting out, that should be a very good weapon. If an item is shiny, it probably is godly or, you know, higher level. This would be good for a alternate. Suck. All of these things suck. As usual, godlies are utterly worthless. Oh, this thing sucks too. Why? Oh, this is shiny as hell. And it sucks. Please be useful. No. No, I don't want to do this again. I'm not gonna do this again, actually. No shot. Stats, by the way. You want 200 beam damage, 50 beam health. Then you can go into Tinkers. Okay. That like musket thing we found earlier. I'm gonna return to Tavern and test out that musket thing. We are just under an hour into the recording, and we are just now about to get into Dread Dungeon. For context, in Redux, we were already in Dread Dungeon. Oh, are any of these good? No, they're not. Too expensive as well. Gloves. These gloves are not very good. This chest piece is amazing. Yes. Yes, yes, very good. Oh, it's not that good. As good as I thought it was. Gives us cast rate, though. This helmet is pretty good. I think it's a good helmet. 612. Just on the border. But since we have so much mana, we can probably upgrade this thing to its full final level. Wow, okay. Okay, let's see. I want to equip that helmet eventually. Boop, boop. Let me see how much better this is. Wow, that shoots fast. Wow, that shoots fast. Okay. Okay. I think we'll be fine.
My pockets aren't endless, you know.
This is worse, right? Yes. Okay. Dread Dungeon, insane hardcore, first 2 waves. Oh, you guys can hear me cracking my fingers. I apologize. Oh, we have a 14 cast rate. That's not bad. You don't need to do the first 2 waves. I think that doing the first 2 waves is very, very, very nice, though. Doing anything past the first 2 waves, however... What's our hero tower HP? Tower HP is at 10. That is going to be not good. Hold on. One thing I forgot that I should always remember to do, because it is very essential. Where's the Pyro? For information's sake, Pyro rolled an 18 this time, but he can roll up to at least a 21. I think up to a 25. I think. This time it was a 21, though. Or an 18. Although I suppose it's a very small stat difference. Okay, there we go. Now then. You might be asking, why is the weapon important? Well, first of all, the Wyverns are going to have 10 times the amount of health. So before they had, what, 1,600, 1,800? They're going to have 11,000, 12,000 now. And that's just on the second wave alone. Also, any stuck enemies will have a lot more health. Like those orcs, 16,000 health, something like that. And the ogre, previously 80,000 health, right? And its damage wasn't that high. Now it's going to do like 400 damage a hit, bare minimum, and it's going to have 500 something thousand. A lot more fun. I'm very curious how the tone of this video has changed throughout the video. If you are listening to this at this point in time, go to like the start of this video and like go to the start of this video and listen to like 2 minutes of it, and then skip back here and listen to the next 2 minutes of this. How different is it? I'm curious. I suppose I could do that myself afterwards. That's kind of weird, isn't it? I feel like that'd be kind of... Anyways, same thing for wave 1, more or less. You deal a lot of damage with these beams. So I think it'll be fine. More or less. These guys have a beefy amount of health, though. Yeah, I'll probably have to stay around for these guys. Or, once they're in the beam, you can do one of these. Bam. Make sure they die. Alright. I'm going to resell and redo these beams up here. I shouldn't be doing this in the middle of a wave. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this in the middle of a wave. Don't hit me, don't hit me. Something shooting me? I felt like an arrow was just headed straight towards my head. Stay away from me, demon. And as you can see, no issues at all. No issues at all. Things die very quickly, very easily. Yes, yes. We've also unlocked the Bazoo beam. Bazoo beam being this. No, don't put men in that. By the way, first wave, nothing hit the crystal. Boom, 220,000 mana? A little more than that, actually. Mana XP, yes, words. Alright. Now we don't have as much time to mess around, which sucks a little bit. It's a little annoying. Alright, I'm gonna upgrade these beams down here. I don't know why, but on Insane, even in the build phase, which I don't think it should be a thing, but in the build phase, it's still really slow to upgrade stuff. I'm gonna put that. I think you should probably put all the points into beam damage, to be honest, but I put it a little bit into HP just in case. Just in case. To be honest, I think it would probably be better put into cast rate instead of HP, if I had to say exactly. But I went for HP this time. Mainly because we haven't put down like all of the extra beams that we're going to put down later on. So we're not going to have to repair that much. Just the stuff down here. Again, do not upgrade this wall unless you want to have a miserable time. That's how long that wall takes to upgrade when it's like barely, repair when it's barely damaged. It takes a lot longer to repair when it is heavily damaged. Then up here is going to be the same thing in the 4DU beam right here. Make it as long as you can. And then we're going to put down that new 2DU beam right here. Upgrade both of these. Okay, we got a very limited time. We gotta rush. We gotta boogie. No, that's godly. Oh, that other weapon kind of looks interesting, but I can't look at it. I don't have the time. Place. Time crunch. Not that one. We have a lot more time than I'm making it out to be, as I realized. Cool. And then a 3D beam up here. And then upgrade the beam and the wall. Nope. Alright, upgrade this. Pick up the mana down here. Didn't get that chest. Whatever. The chest loot is kind of garbage anyways. Alright. Depending on where the ogre spawns, if he spawns down there, I can actually show you guys a neat little trick that I discovered. So, do with the wyverns. 10 times the health. Very cool. I forgot, this thing pierces. It also reloads pretty fast. Oh, ogre spawned up top. It's actually better. Not what I meant to upgrade. So I think we're going to be fine. So if the ogre spawns down there, what you want to do, which I'm not going to showcase right now, of course, is you want to kite the ogre around, right? Try to upgrade this wall right as the ogre is about to destroy it. Then you want to kite the ogre around up until you can get it up there, right? And then when you're around this point, sell that wall very, very quickly. It'll be annoying. Then place down a decoy, and then drop down through this route, and then go back up, and then replace this wall, basically just placing him at that side of the wall again. You can go even farther back there if you need to. Just do whatever you gotta do. And then you should be fine by the end of it. And the rewards, just on wave 2, the godlies are actually, like, kind of okay. I'm going to be picking that one up, funnily enough. And the general loot, I mean, you could just kind of look at it for yourself. Much better. That sucks for my hero damage, but I will take the hit. I think this is better for everything else that I have. Yep. Wow, he's really having a fun time up there. I think only one of the beams is hitting him right now. But that does mean that we have a lot more time to look at loot. Oh wait, I should probably get this chest. That's a lie. This chest's probably gonna have garbage. Chest loot on this map, I find to be very bad. Maybe that's just a, you know, data point of one situation, but I do not find the loot from this map's chest to be particularly good at all. Good? No, garbage. And we get another big batch of XP. Looks like that's 300 something thousand. Yeah, 300,000, 300 something thousand XP from there. And then put the rest of the points into HP. So now we're gonna have these Dark Elf Warriors, which means that you gotta be very careful and make sure that these beams and walls and such are pretty secure. Because if you don't, you're gonna have a rough time. These are free upgrades that you get when you have like your pet out. So I'm gonna put them all here. Okay. Jeez, how many do I have? Okay, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. And more damage on the primary. Okay, now let's look at the loot here. So far so bad. Bad. Once again, upgrading to save time. That wall up here, I will actually have to upgrade, I think. If an ogre comes through that bottom ramp there, we're not done for, but we're gonna have a hell of a time. Let's see. You are garbage. Sorry. So, start of the wave is going to be the exact same. If I haven't mentioned that already. We're just going to be shooting up over here, killing those wyverns. But this time there will be 2 ogres to deal with. And if both of them are down here, I think that might be game over. I don't think we have the DPS or the anything to deal with 2 ogres at once. I know we also have a bunch of items and stuff from before that we can use now. Is that all the stuff? Wow, that really is all the items. Not upgrade that. Repair this wall. Ah, that takes forever. And then upgrade all the other beams. Nope. You should also upgrade the other photon beam that's at the super safe area. Where the beams are able to hit the wyverns. Should probably do that as well. Should definitely do that as well. See if I can get there. So the Dark Elf Warriors have a ton of HP. So be very careful of them. Let's see. Good loot? Bad loot. Love to see it. Actually not particularly garbage. Okay. I should have kept a little bit more mana than that on me, so I can do a decoy if needed. So again, Dark Elf Warriors, watch out for them. There's not too many on this first wave, so it won't be that bad, but something to keep an eye out for them. And here they are, and they have a lot of health. Yeah. They're gonna start just beating the Ah! He got through! He's too tall! He's too much of a Chad. And then this one down here is just ignoring the wall. I was about to stop that. Alright, he broke the wall. Lovely. You can just put down another wall if he breaks that one, and you can just keep stalling him with walls while you deal with literally anything else. Oh, one of them got through. Okay, well that's wave 3. Wave 3 is a bit of a 50-50. If you get through it, you'll probably get a lot of really good loot, but odds are that you don't. Such is the way of life. It's all because of these jackasses. These Dark Elf Warriors are horrible. I think if you have a decoy... No, let me pause. What the hell? I can look around when the crystal gets destroyed. Okay, let me think. Let me see what situation we are after first upgrading the Pyro. Second, looking at some of the other stuff that we've gotten, loot-wise. Okay, this item is garbage now.
You have quite a collection.
This helmet is good, but it doesn't provide enough health. This chest piece is good. What do I lose? Oh, castrate is kind of useful. Big upgrade. These godly ones will also be another big upgrade whenever we get to them. These suck. Okay, of these helmets, do I want to keep any of them? It's a lot more damage. It's also a lot more it's also a lot more cast rate. By that I mean it is just more cast rate. Less HP, which will sort of suck, but I think we can make up for it. Okay. 228, 38. I would like to change that. Why do you all of a sudden cost so much more mana? Oh, we have a lot of cast rate. Oh, it's from our gloves. Okay. So I can definitely drop the cast rate for a little bit. Cast rate and speed is great. So now, definitely want to put a lot of points into tower HP. Into the things that are cheap, actually. 2600. Are these the only two? 12 plus 2? That's more, right? So that gives 7 tower HP? Oh, 5. Here it is. Put a few points into that one. Put a few points into that one. Put a few points into that one. Okay. Now we are just at the threshold with tower HP. One thing that I've noticed in Redux, not so much in Live, is that the proton beams. So originally not in Redux, in Live instead of Redux, the proton beams on Redux do a shit ton of damage. Like this will do like triple the amount of damage it does, at least double, right? I'm gonna go on to Nightmare, right? So this is the actual damage it does on Nightmare. 17,000. Redux that'll do at least double, you know? But proton beams, which, you know, similar DU cost, even though we don't care about that, 9,265 damage per second, which is pretty much double what these have. So I'm going to try a new strategy. Whereas before I was using entirely shock beams, I'm going to try out using a mix of shock beams and proton beams. Because I think that'll be the best route here. Or maybe I'll just try out proton beams. Okay, anyways. Nightmare Hardcore Tinker's first wave. This will get us at least 1.5-ish million XP. That's saying our crystal gets hit, which, frankly speaking, from the past few completions of this, crystal has gotten hit. We have had big Mayday where crystal gets hit. But saying that doesn't happen, we're good. Saying that doesn't happen. Fun fact, if I look in this direction, my FPS dies. Like I lose 20 FPS or something like that. So normally I would use shock beams, but again, we'll use proton beams this time. Wow, you can really make these longer. Wow, the proton beams can be so much longer than the shock beams. Jesus. I'm used to these being much, much shorter. Because they're usually shock beams. Also, they cost a little bit more mana when they're shock beams, 15 more specifically. Which will probably make a noticeable difference by the end of this. Normally, because each of these chests gives you around... No, not around. Exactly 140 mana. You end up using 140 mana at each of these building stations. Ignoring this one. But like, this area right here, you will build a wall and 2 shock beams. For every like choke point, it's a wall and 2 shock beams. Which ends up being 55, 55, and then whatever amount the shock beams are. Not shock beams, walls. 30. And that ends up being the good old magical number 140. Yes. So like right now we wouldn't have any leftover mana, normally. But we do. Not the same in Redux. Again, Redux, very different. Things are much happier and gooder. I think we can't build in the spawn area down here using that. I guess it's the same thing with shock beams. Interesting. I will try a mix approach here. I hope that gets things done. I think a benefit of the shock beams is that they have a... Wow, that lowers my hits. They have a much wider area of effect. I think. It feels like that. So that makes it a lot better to use them. I'm not used to having any mana left over after doing this. I should mention that. So this will be a bit new for me. Yes. Yeah, I nearly have enough mana left over right now to just build like a whole new set of these beams. Again, right here, normally do a shock and a electric. I can build these much longer. A shock and electric, two electrics. Now I'm just gonna do 2 shock beams. Sure, that looks good. Oh my lord. I know what lowers my frames, these friggin' shock beams. Holy hell. The game is currently on like ultra for its settings. That's probably why my frames are dying so badly. A thing to mention. I'm doing most of the choke points right now. Basically, no, I'm doing all of the choke points for the first wave at the moment. But there are 2 specific other choke points that I'm not covering here. I have just realized something. This does not cover goblins. That's right. So, shock beams will one-shot the goblins. I am no longer one-shotting the goblins. I will hope that the goblins die anyways, though. I doubt it. I'm covering all of the choke points, but there's one area where sometimes a mob will get through, and if it does, it's really annoying. And I'm going to show you guys that in a second. Okay, so that's all with proton beams. Let's see how that works out. Right here, yeah. So it's right at this thing here. You'll commonly have, not commonly, uncommonly have a single enemy get through, whether that be an ogre or whatever. And then they'll be really annoying to deal with. So let's see. How do the shock beams do? Or the proton beams? So far, so good. Normally what happens is that for these big boys, one of them will get stuck on the stop sign and he just ran past the stop sign. Okay, well, that'll deal with that. It looks like so far the shock beams are doing much better. Or not the shock beams, the protons. Ooh, over there that archer is actually hitting this wall, which it shouldn't be doing. So maybe right here a shock beam is better. This area never has problems. Whether or not you're using, like, whatever you're using, this area never has had problems for me in the past. This wall, that other wall that I was just looking at, this one right here, that has had problems. But that other wall, I'm really descriptive. That wall over yonder, that one, never any problems. This archer here very commonly gets stuck, not surprised. Okay, well, it looks like if you follow what I did there, everything works out. And good lord, please, my frames, return them. 2 million XP, there you go. You would get 1.3 times less. Otherwise, yes, you would get 1.3 times less XP had you not been using the super cool, muy bueno, yes words, things that I definitely know that I'm saying. Had you used the shock beams and had your crystal hit. Now, had you had your crystal hit, you would have gotten 1.3 times less XP. This is pretty much the end of this episode as far as I'm concerned. Because I know that this is now completable with 4 players, because it definitely is. Godly. You have such negative damage. That sucks. That really sucks. Or not negative damage, negative HP. Damn. I guess I could... You know what? I will pick this up. Oh, achievement. Let's go. Picked up our first godly item. So, yeah. Once you're done here, you can just keep farming this till you get a bunch of your characters to level 74. And pick up all of the armors you get. Literally all of them. Doesn't matter if they're like hot garbage. If they're mythical and they're an armor, and it is an armor, then you pick it up. If it's mythical and it's not an armor, case by case basis. Because for armors, you can get set bonuses. So even if you have like a mediocre piece of gear, if it's gonna help you get a set bonus, that'll make every other piece of gear a lot better. So it'll be worth it. Especially if you have nothing else. That is a good piece for either a EV or an adept. Quad stats, very nice. Not super common, but fairly common. That sucks. I don't want that. So if there's anything that you don't want that you find, which is pretty common, you just ignore it. you're not like forced to take it or anything. You just completely ignore them. Once you get to level 74, you do a big jump up in stats. You go from whatever I have now, roughly, to like 1,000 across the board, pretty much. Before I end this off, one thing I should mention is that level 74 is about 18 million XP. This gives about 2 million XP per go. So you get to level 18 in about like what, 9 or so attempts, a little less for your main character. And once you're done getting your weapons for your characters, like getting a builder weapon for your, you know, this one, all of them, you can actually just go ahead and jump on your summoner and get only armor rewards. It is a very useful strategy. So now, even with just one item on the ground, finish the wave, 250,000 mana. It can be 2.5 million, depends on the piece of mythical gear. Either way, that is my job more or less done, I think. That is your little beginner, not guide, but how to get to level 74 / Tinker's Lab in an hour and 21 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. There will be a Quest for Completion episode up, I want to say soon. Episode 1 will be up, I think, soon. And in episode 1, same thing. We're just going to get to 74 on all of our characters. And not all of our characters, all the main characters. And then, yeah, that'll be it. I'll probably have a lot more scripted. It'll probably be a lot more scripted, and I'll know what I'm saying more. And it'll have editing, more likely than not. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then.